Bill Cosby going to jail. You know, it don't really surprise me about that. I didn't see all the particulars yet, so this might be a multi-part podcast about Bill Cosby sentencing. So I'm gonna try to get the particulars on the second one, but I'm gonna give you my take on my feelings about Bill Cosby. Why I feel that he shouldn't have went to jail, based on the lack of evidence and the time frame. In other words, the limitations. Because, well, let me explain. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. Here's my take on this. First of all, as you already know, if you hadn't crawled under the rock, William H. Cosby, also known as Bill Cosby, famed comedian, actor, and philanthropist, who started in television doing comedy after years on the nightclub circuit, and eventually got his first series back in 1964 called I Spy, one of my favorites as a kid. Then he landed another series after I Spy left in 1969 with his own sitcom. And then a couple years later, actually, right around the same time he got his own sitcom, he did a Fat Albert special the same year, I found out. And then a couple years later, Fat Albert went to series on CBS for about a dozen or so years, went off for a couple years, came back on, and in the meantime, he had got the Cosby Show, which lasted several years. He had a couple other pilot series for years. Then came up and in and out between 1970 all the way to 1980. I remember that because he had a couple of summer series that was out too. But nevertheless, then he did the what was the other show? It was the Cosby Mysteries, and then he did what's running like. And then he did a Cosby sitcom for it. Was out for a couple years on CBS too. But to make a long story short, I was just going through all his history of television. I didn't even get to his movies yet, but to make a long story short, Bill Cosby had been a philanthropist as well. He gave to more black colleges outside of Michael Jackson. He actually was one of the biggest philanthropists in the entertainment field. He gave to many, many black colleges. And, of course, the colleges didn't get the money back, but they took the doctors back that they gave. Based on this thing about the allegation of the women he supposedly raped. And I'm still saying supposedly because there's been no actual evidence that he actually did it. The only problem was they say he admitted to giving this one woman drugs. For that, he got convicted 3 to 10 years. All right. Couple of things also. Cosby did talk about the plight of black men and what black men need to do and all of that, and what people in the black community should be doing. I got mixed feelings about that. On one hand, I think he was right about what he said about a lot of that. I still do. Because you got a lot of black men who don't have fathers to tell them about how to do things. And then you got some black men that got guys that don't tell them to do the right things. So, but on the other hand, that's not necessarily him putting black people down, but I don't think he was really doing that. I don't. But you can say Bill Cosby did give money to colleges. He gave millions of dollars to colleges. But I saw the Dateline special about 3 years ago. Notice you can't find that Dateline special online. At least I couldn't. I looked for about a year now. I could not find it. And NBC has never reposted it anywhere that I know of, and I looked for it. They did a 2-hour special on Bill Cosby and brought in 25 of the 40 some odd women who accused Cosby of doing what he did to them. Now that's a lot of women. And this thing goes all the way back from the late 60s all the way to about 2004, 2005. All right? Yet, all those years, the bulk of those women have never actually reported that happened until they found out, oh, maybe I could get some monetary value out of this. Now y'all bitches want to talk. That's what pisses me off. For decades, many women knew that, or they allegedly knew that Cosby was doing that, and they didn't say anything for decades. Now all of a sudden y'all want to talk. When you find out that it was worth its weight in gold, then you want to sit there and sing like a fucking canary. Ain't that a bitch? Didn't say anything to police, didn't say anything to your friend, nobody. Never talked about it. All of a sudden, it's a talk of town. And then their excuse was, well, nobody would believe us because it's Bill Cosby. How about telling the cops, providing evidence, and maybe somebody may have believed you? No. We know he's worth this amount of mega millions, and we want to see what we can get out of him. Now, I heard a report, and I've seen it one other time, too. The initial trial where they were getting ready to do the sentence phase, well, actually, it was like a while back. There was another trial, one of the last big trials they had on Cosby, and there were women laughing. They didn't look sad. They didn't look upset. They were laughing about it. And then I heard a report just now that they were doing the same thing again. And this has since he's been sentenced. Now, the Dateline special I saw, and this is no joke, which is probably why they never pulled it, because they could have proved that those women really had no evidence on Cosby. It was just all hearsay, as far as I'm concerned. And I still say that. Because there was this one woman in particular said, well, we just dated for 2 years. That's all it was. But how you gonna come on the program claiming that he violated you and you dated him for 2 years since the fucking drug allegation? Cause you full of shit. I saw it and I heard it and I saw it and I went ballistic. I did a whole 2-hour special on it. It should be on. A matter of fact, it's on YouTube right now. I mean, I went ham, and I'm gonna go ham again about it. You know, probably later this week, but I plan on doing it among a bunch of other stuff. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, that was complete bullshit. That Cosby Dateline special was bullshit. I'm sorry, it was complete bullshit. Did I say it was bullshit? It was bullshit all day long. Trust and believe on that. You know. Now, I just felt personally that this whole thing honestly was a witch hunt. I never actually thought Cosby was guilty of most of them because the statute of limitations, you don't wait 5, 10, 15 years to say what guy raped you, especially a famous guy. And you notice, here's the thing, all the laws that supposedly was enacted behind the statute of limitations and other things that should have been able to allow Cosby to defend himself better than what he was able to, got thrown directly out the window because of the Me Too movement. Okay? And I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. I didn't buy it anyway. I didn't buy it when I saw the Dateline 2-hour special about 3 years ago. They didn't do one there. I don't remember him doing one on Harvey Weinstein for 2 hours and all his women who supposedly said he did it. Well, of course, there's a famous black man that they do that with. Yeah. Or Les Moonves. You know, only thing he got to do was retire. They don't plan on giving Les Moonves a trial. Harvey Weinstein will probably beat the rap. But they were waiting on Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby trial, matter of fact, if I ain't mistaken, I think Winestien and Bill Cosby accusations came out, or at least the big accusations came out around the same time. Guess who actually didn't go to trial? Winestien has yet to go have a major trial. Les Moonves likely won't get one. He retired, and so did his wife. Sort of. But it's a bunch of bullshit, man. This was all about to make the black man look bad again. And I know y'all people, y'all call it victimhood. Let me tell you something. This was about motherfucking victimhood. Alright? Because I know white people always got these fucking little antidote to statements about, oh, well, you guys are playing a race card. You guys are being playing victims all the time. No. It wasn't us playing victims. We were always being victimized in the media. We were always being victimized during slavery. We were being victimized during the civil rights era. So don't y'all motherfuckers tell me about, oh yeah, you were playing this, playing that. We weren't playing anything that wasn't reality. This was real. Okay? This motherfucker game was played by y'all. Okay? And y'all constantly do it. When it comes to your own motherfucker peers, y'all the last ones to try to convict anybody. Look at George Zimmerman. This son of a bitch been walking for 6 fucking years. 6 fucking years. Okay? He's still breathing. No. He's playing innocent. He's playing victimhood for 6 goddamn years. And y'all let this son of a bitch walk. Still. There have been protests. There have been trials. This motherfucker got... Since the time that he murdered Trayvon Martin, because yes, I'm goddamn it, I'm saying he murdered him. He did murder him in cold blood. I don't give a fuck what nobody's saying. A 17-year-old kid, really? You murdered a 17-year-old kid in cold blood. Alright? He got off. He got off beating his wife. He got off shooting another guy. He beat up a cop prior to killing Trayvon Martin. And who's playing victim now? Y'all motherfuckers was doing it for years. Okay? George Zimmerman living a life of Riley. And a young 17-year-old black man who was just walking home lay 6 feet under. And y'all talking about we hollering victimhood. No, we're hollering injustice. And Cosby, as far as I'm concerned, for the most part, is no different. It's still injustice, as far as I'm concerned. All right? It still is. And I ain't through talking about it. I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm just getting started. You know? I'm going to do another quick podcast so I can calm the fuck down. This is DJ Wolf. Mark me. We got more to say on the back burner and on the front burner too, baby. Get ready. I'm out.